Well, I just want to say welcome, everybody. This is round 5 of the Social Connect Business Happy Hour. And what we do here is a success over struggle speaker panel. Because I feel like a lot of times we maybe don't need to know the how to do this, but maybe we just need to hear from real people telling their real stories of how they got from point A to point B. Because I think we're all aware that everything is not so perfect. Would you ladies, Mario, would you guys agree that life is not absolutely perfect 100% of the time? Absolutely. So I don't know about you, but I really like being inspired by other people who are real, who are doing what I'm doing as well, and can motivate me to keep me going. Yeah? All right, good. So there are a lot of new faces in the crowd. I just want to say thanks so much for coming out here. Brandon, who is taking cookies off of seats. Brandon is my co-host of the Social Connect Business Happy Hour, and we do this every month because we are of the mindset that people meet people. It's why we don't do what's your name, who are you, what's your title. We don't do that here. What we really want to do is bring people to get to know people, hence the, hey, what was your favorite subject? Why do we do that? Because a lot of people just need to start a conversation, and how do you start a conversation? So every month we change up the question to be a little bit cheeky, a little bit fun, so that you can do that with each other. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. But first, real quick, we are doing a 50-50 raffle tonight, and we are taking cash or card, and that is to help out Mr. Mario Bayne here with his Career Concepts for Youth, Inc. He is an incredible organization helping today's youth, creating curriculum for them. I'm not doing a good job at this, Mario, but I'll let you say. He'll bail me out. But that is something where if you are donating to the 50-50 raffle, one of you will walk away with 50% of the pot in cash. But also, if people are paying with card, you'll walk away with that as well. And then everybody that donates gets a discount to a future event or a free ticket to another event as well. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get us started. Real quick, I want to thank some sponsors who are here tonight. So Three Wisemen, you guys know this is our venue. So they host the event. They do all the fun appetizers, the happy hour drinks. So thank you to Jaret for hosting the event. He's definitely trying to build buzz around the business community, so we thank him for hosting this event. We've got Jonathan Ingram, who is the man behind the camera. So, yep, he is our videographer, and he and I are partnering up, and I'll tell you about a project later down the road that we're doing. And then we've got Faith Williams. I think she's out there talking to everybody. Oh, she's right here. Faith Williams. Faith Williams is with the Plant-Based LLC, and she is amazing vegan baker. So those cookies that you see, they're healthy. They're healthy chocolate chip cookies. I guarantee you will love them. Brandon's already eaten like 5 packs. And then last but not least, Startup Entrepreneur Academy is one of the sponsors as well, and that's a gig that I have. And my hope is that people who have brilliant business ideas find a way to get those business ideas out of their head and moving into action. So created a program to help aspiring entrepreneurs get their business off the ground and just moving forward. So that's something that I do as well through mentoring and through an online program. So, all right, let's get going, shall we? Jodi, you excited?
Oh,
Jody's like...
super excited.
All right, so every month I just ask a couple of questions and I give the panel, we have about 30 minutes to just inspire the crowd and get going. Vincent, raise your hand. Vincent's going to be on my panel next month. Vincent Orlick here. Take notes. This is not your whole life story. This is really some short tidbits and some inspiration to inspire the room. But Jodi and I go way back. In fact, I've had a lot of people ask me how I met her, and I actually just cold called her. I cold called her, and I was like, do you want to buy a table? And she's like, no. But I will come to your event. And that's how this whole beautiful friendship started, and I consider her just a great friend. And she's killing it. If any of you are in the healthcare arena, looking to work with doctors, looking to work with physicians, this girl has cornered the market. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Jodi and then ask her the first question. She is the founder of Networking for Healthcare and Health Now Expo. Jodi went on a hunt to find a networking group just for healthcare professionals. Much to her surprise, there were none in the community that actively supported physicians and other medical professionals meeting each other to share conversation, support each other, and form relationships. So she decided to start her own. Since 2017, Jodi has created events for physicians and healthcare people to gather after work in medical offices across the valley. In October 2018, Jodi is launching Networking for Healthcare in Dallas and has plans to bring this model to cities across the U.S. All right, so that's a little bit about Jodi. So I always ask a very similar question every month because I think it's one that every single person can answer that's on the panel. And that's to share one challenge you went through that got you to where you are today, that grew you personally or professionally or both.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, hello everyone. I'm super excited to be here tonight, and I actually had a lot of fun, actually talking to my husband about how I was going to answer this question tonight, because these are all things that we just don't talk about, like the vulnerable moments in our career or in our business life that kind of gets us to where we're at today. So what I wanted to share as far as a challenge, a couple of years back when I decided to leave a career that I was making amazing money, I was working for a physician's office in the Scottsdale area. I pretty much felt like I was at a place where it was time for me to move on. I looked around, I wanted to get out actually of healthcare, medical, and just do something different. So I took a job in the technology world. And I had given notice of a 60-day notice to the practice that I was working for that I was going to be departing. And during that 60 days, believe it or not, the company that I had received a job offer and was all prepared to go work for, their company, the partners, had a dispute and decided to close the doors. So for me, it was like a holy shit moment, without a doubt. So here I was, I had already given notice. I had already told the company I was currently working for that I was leaving. And honestly, I just didn't want to go back. Like, I didn't want to be really honest with what was happening in my life. So like many of us, I just kind of went along with I'm happily leaving, going to a job that I really don't have. And so that's actually, when I look back, that was of course, a huge challenge. But I just figured it out. I mean, from that experience, what I took from that is that, just like a lot of things and many of the things that you do, the things that I do, it's just, you just figure it out. You just, it sucks. I definitely had my moments of oh my God, what am I going to do? I have a family that I need to support, and at least be a part of supporting that, that money in the family. So anyways, that's kind of where I came from. And so fast forwarding to where I'm at today, from that, honestly, I look at all those experiences and I think all of that was meant to happen. It was meant for me to make that move, because I probably wouldn't have made that move without having that opportunity. And I actually ended up reconnecting with somebody, which is another point that I wanted to make real quick, is that I reconnected with somebody that I felt like was a mentor. And that was the whole reason why I took the job in the first place, was because I thought this is a great opportunity to learn a new industry, but also to hang out with somebody that was really my mentor. So anyways, to that point, I just look at relationships as another thing that I don't ever want to lose. I don't ever want to burn bridges or do any of that, because you just never know how things will go, full circle. So that's my challenge.
So no telling people off on LinkedIn.
No, I never do that. Yeah. No. I do that privately.
Please refrain. Please write that and then delete it. Delete it all.
Yeah.
I think I might have done that today.
I do that really often. Especially when someone has blocked me, I write to them. It just makes me feel better. I'm totally kidding.
I write to them, then I delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just figure it doesn't go anywhere.
I know, unless it does. All right, thanks, Jodi. All right, Mario Bayne, met him on LinkedIn. I think he liked one of my posts, and I'm like, I've got to meet this man. He's got a lot of things going on, but definitely helping out today's youth with career concepts. So let me tell you a little bit about Mario. For the past 27 years, he has served as the founder and president of Career Concepts for Youth Incorporated, which is a part prevention, part motivation program for middle school youth to succeed via academic efforts and career awareness. As a serial entrepreneur, he is also the president of his consulting company, 3 Steps Ahead LLC, author of the books Relationship to Self, and it's all about choices for kids. He has a natural affinity to mentor young people by communicating powerfully from the heart. He currently serves on the Arizona Department of Education Parent and Community Involvement Planning Committee, the Phoenix Suns Charities Board, the Board of Directors for the March of Dimes, Phoenix Youth and Education Commission, and is the chair for the City of Phoenix Human Relations Commission. Goodness. I don't know how you do it all. I know.
No idea.
He's like, I'm sleeping right now. Before his leap, he spent over 18 years in sales and marketing with Hyatt, Hilton, and Sheraton Hotels. Welcome, Mario.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Glad to be here. How's everyone?
Good.
You know, it's interesting because everyone here is doing something positive to truly make a difference, and I think that's honorable for everybody. I'll capsulize my story. I was born in Panama, Central America. By the time I was 18, I lost both my parents of natural causes. Since 7 years old, I wanted to play professional baseball, and at 22, 2 knee surgeries, and that career was over. So I was really angry at the world, and fortunately, I had stayed enough hotels playing, so I knew that I liked the conditions of hotels, and I liked the guys wearing suits walking around the hotel lobby. So I ended up getting a job at the Hyatt Corporation, and within 7 months, I was in a management training program, and I found that sales and marketing was really the body of the hotel industry. And 18 and a half years in sales and marketing with 3 major hotel chains, I was at the verge of wanting to start an organization to make a difference for young people. And I noticed that particular Monday, both the owner and the general manager were kind of hobnobbing. And you have that internal clock that tells you something just isn't right. And what had happened was they had sold the property and all senior management was going to be replaced. And I made this fundamental thought in my mind that at the time, there was a major beer company that was unveiling their product in Phoenix as one of their 5 test markets. It happened to be my account, Miller Beer. So next thing I know, I'm in Milwaukee interviewing for director of marketing for Miller Beer. And I thought, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Everyone in my family told me, this is it. Philip Morris, corporate America, you got it going on. Within 12 months, they got rid of everyone. And I thought, boy, what am I going to do? And my thought process was I wanted to find a purpose that I could truly be passionate about and not worry about money, not worry about the materialistic things, but truly make a difference. And I decided to start an organization based on my own life experiences of making young people aware that you're going to have tough times in life, but you need to understand and have a creative game plan. So we ended up starting Career Concepts for Youth, and we deal with middle schools. They say 0 to 3 is where you learn your ethics and morals and character and fiber. And if you can replenish it between 10 and 14, they'll grow up to be solid citizens. So we decided to create a curriculum and implement it in schools. 27 years later, 60,000 kids, and we have truly made an impact with them. The thing that I've learned, which I wanted to share with you guys, is that it's really important what you tell yourself when you're alone. And some of the conversations that you have with yourself tend to be very negative. And you have to be able to tune out the outside and kind of turn off that internal clock in your head that tells you nonsense. I learned that opportunities aren't made or broken. They're really there as lesson plans for you to deal with the world. Opportunities don't make appointments, you have to be ready for them. But if you can just get your power of thought to be relentlessly positive and not give up and push the envelope and understand that you're passionate. And if you're passionate, the process will take care of itself and you will succeed. And in that market, my sister, who's a psychiatrist, not I, once when I was struggling, told me 3 different things that were really important. And I kind of sat there and go, okay, doc, what is it you got to tell me? I grew up with you. I know that you're not all perfect. Well, let's hear it. And the first thing was shit happens. And I thought, you're kidding me. You actually charge people $185 an hour to tell them shit happens? I could probably do it for about 80. And she goes, yeah, but after 10 minutes, you're going to start screaming at people. I go, well, that's true. I go, what's the second thing? She says, this too shall pass. And I thought, boy, we're on a roll. What's number 3? And she says, we're all going to die. And she says, little brother, the 3 things that I just told you, the key is don't let 3 hit you in your ass before 1 and 2. And I thought, really? Well, those words were very prophetic because they are very true. You have to pursue whatever it is that you want from a passionate standpoint. You have to have a purpose, and you have to be able to not let anyone detract you from your journey. And I think if you can stay true to those weapons and be authentic, then success is on your way. So that's pretty much it. That good? I capsulized it in a little.
You did. I was like, 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. He's like, I'm laughing my ass off. 5 minutes. Thank you, Mario. Good stuff. I like that. And he was also the one that said, be comfortable with being uncomfortable in the last thing we did. So the last video we did. And that's absolutely true. All right, Jarrett Ransom, I've known for a long time too. In fact, probably just a couple years after Jodi, I met you. And now she is the president of the Ray-Ban Group. She started the Ray-Ban Group in 2009 and brings more than 15 years experience with international, national, and local organizations. She has successfully managed development and communications functions for more than 10 campaigns with a combined goal totaling $6 million. She is passionate about creating community, empowering others to see and exceed their full potential, and crafting compelling stories in support of mission-driven organizations. Jaret has been nominated for several Valley Awards, including 40 Under 40, AZ Central Who's Next nominee, Greater Phoenix Athena nominee, Amazing Women of Arizona recipient, and the Global Women's Summit Leadership Award. You come a long way, girl.
Yes, I have. And actually, I want to start this with, this is my food stamp card from 2012. So I have come a long effing way. So I share that, really not to say that I'm proud of it, but just to share what's possible. And I love what you do. And I love your story, Jodi. You're right. I've never known that. So, gosh, what has gotten me here? So much. But resilience and grit and just tenacity, right? And so, yeah, I dug this out literally because at first I was like, I want to shred this because this is horrible memories. It's PTSD. But it's also like, it's where I've been. And I get to share my story. And now I'm running a $250,000 nonprofit consulting firm. So I work and help nonprofits that typically are like, we don't have money. How are we going to pay you? And I'm here to tell you that you can make this happen. So how I did that, right, was really turning all of my asshole angel moments into silver lining. Became a not quite silver, but single mom in 2010, and this card came in 2012. So I actually also have my master's in business administration, so that was kind of my baseline of, I have this behind me, and I know that I can always fall back on that. And so I really echo a lot of what you said, but I've been failing forward for a long time. 3 times is the amount I've been fired. And so the first one was a reduction in force, 2009. The second one was I think they call it a restructure, right? That was nice. And the third one was flat out fired. So I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but in 2009, I curled up in the fetal position and really was like, what am I going to do? And I found comfort knowing that I wasn't alone. And not advocating for this, but I went and got like a whole Papa John's pizza and a bottle of wine, and I ate and drank all of it in one night. I know, it's true. And so probably about a month after the fetal position, I went to the Arizona Corporation Commission and filed my LLC. I took my severance check and I went to Africa because I thought, when else am I going to have this time and PTO vacation, right? You need to call out sick more, to go to Africa. So when I came back, I actually went to St. Mary's Food Bank and got a box of food because there was nothing in my pantry, right? So this has come a long way. But what I didn't tell you was on my way to Africa, in the Phoenix International Airport, I signed my first client. Free Arts of Arizona was my first client, right? So I went to Africa knowing that when I come back, I'm going to do this. And it was amazing. So really, resilience has been my main thing. Now I'm unemployable because I just love, my why is freedom, flexibility, and travel. I just got back last night from New York City. And so really being there for my child as a single mom and not being back on food stamps is my purpose and passion. So if I need to go out and get X, you better believe it, I'm securing X plus Y, right? Because I have me and another person to feed. So that's really, and I say asshole angels because everything has a silver lining, and you just have to be willing to see that and to turn your struggle into success. If anyone wants to see it, really has my name on it. So, yeah, vouch that, would you?
Correct.
Pass that around the audience. Just kidding. I like how you even said struggle to success or success to struggle, because I'm like, that's exactly what we're doing here tonight. We're talking about our success over struggle stories. All right, so another quick question I have for you, because I know, like I said, Jodi and Jaret, and I've seen you come a long way, but as entrepreneurs, we don't often stay in the same business that we started. How many of you started a business, you're like, I'm done with it, I'm on to something else? I think a lot of us are merging, a lot of us are changing direction. So I want to know from you, you've pivoted, you've shifted focus. What was the first business you ever started, and how has it evolved from there to what you're doing now? Because I know a little bit about Jodi and Jaret, but I'm sure you're going to surprise me and be like, it was basket weaving.
Well, and the reason why I didn't raise my hand is because I feel like what I'm doing today, which is basically connecting people in the healthcare world, I've been doing it my whole life. So the missing piece to that was I never knew how to monetize it. So again, when I said earlier about how everything came full circle, the person who I got reconnected with, took the job fell through, all of that good stuff, she told me, like, I mean, we're talking like 10 plus years ago, that I needed to somehow find a way to be able to get paid for the connections that I was doing. I mean, that's my whole life. Like, that is my purpose of really being here, other than maybe, eating pizza or something like that, and having kids, I guess. So that's really, like, when I think about how my career and how my life has pivoted. I worked in corporate America. I did all of that. I started a business in 2007 that was a staffing company. So I was basically, once again, I was the matchmaker. I was finding great candidates and connecting them to amazing companies. Fast forward again, now I'm doing the same thing, having a networking group that's allowing relationships to be built and connections to happen. So I don't say that it's basically, for me, it's all the same, but it took me a really long time to figure out how to actually get paid for it, and that's where I'm at today. So.
Well, don't want you to laugh. I had a great idea to start a gourmet food company, which you took a pouch, put it in boiling water for about 3 minutes, and you had beef Wellington or chicken cordon bleu. And it had a shelf space of exactly 10 years that you could keep it. And the parent company in Seattle went belly up. And I had 6,000 cases of this product. And after eating it every night for about a month, I decided that I wanted to order a pizza. And it was actually, I don't remember what game, Brandon, maybe you'll know, but it was the World Series between the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants. And I had a black and white TV that was 13-inch, coat hangers and antenna. And if you want to watch something at 7 o'clock, you slap the sides at 20 to 6. By 6, you got a picture. So I had the routine down pat. And as the game came on, I thought, life is just, hey, I got to sell this stuff. I'm eating it. It was stocked up in the house. And there was an earthquake. And the game was canceled. And I got upset, and I had a can of pop, threw it at the TV, and broke the picture tube. I sat there and I thought, this isn't what I had in mind. I was supposed to be playing right field for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and this ain't happening. So at that point in time, I decided to do something as best as I could. I actually loaded up 400 cases and took to a family shelter in Mesa, Arizona. And the rest I just gave away. And I decided that obviously was not the business for me to be in. And I needed to pursue what I really wanted, which was making a difference based on my own life story. So that was my aha moment. And if you ever eaten a chicken cordon bleu or beef Wellington from a pouch, boiled in water for 3 minutes exactly, if you're hungry, it's pretty tasty, but I wouldn't advise you to eat it every day on a daily basis. So that was my aha moment to make that drastic change.
Can I get some of those? I go camping a lot, so that actually sounds really good. Right? So besides babysitting as a teen, right, I would say my first company that I started was pet sitting. And I grew up in South Carolina. A lot of my family is from Georgia, and they're all bulldogs, right? So the name of the company was Desert Dog, D-A-W-G. And then I know I'm supposed to just say one. And then I did, because serial entrepreneur here, I did pool cleaning. And because, again, I just wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to figure it out. And I did pet training. So pet training, underwater, cleaning pools. Yeah. So I've done a little bit of everything. But what I say is I've gleaned a little bit of what I like, whether it's marketing or customer service or business development, from every one of those. And the best thing I like is I'm still making mistakes, but a lot of my mistakes in an industry that I wasn't passionate about. And so now I'm in a place where I'm extremely passionate helping nonprofit and charity organizations. And I've learned along the way through some sectors that, again, wasn't my passion. Did you know that? Did you know I did pool cleaning?
I did not. We don't go that way back, but yeah, it's good to know. Pool cleaning, dog sitting, all that good stuff. I didn't know about the beef Wellington. That's good to know. All right. Does anyone have any questions for our panel? Anybody get inspired today by just what you heard? Some lessons? Oh, Ryan. Ryan Parker in the house.
So you guys are all entrepreneurs. The one question I always like to ask entrepreneurs is, you're in the business trenches, okay? You have one person next to you when all the fire is coming in. Who's the one person you have next to you in the trench? But it can't be Paul Allen, it can't be Steve Jobs. Who's that real person next to you and why?
This is a good question for you guys.
So Musk is on the table?
Pardon?
Elon Musk is on the table?
No,
Can you drive me away in a Tesla?
So you're asking who's that one person that you...
Who's that one person standing next to you in that trench that you out there with fighting?
God. God.
Why a real person? Tommy, not that God's not real. Someone that we can actually like in this room. I don't want someone that big. I want someone that's like day-to-day interactions. Who's that person?
You know, I really don't really vent to anyone. I mean, I am so relentlessly positive from playing a game that nothing friggin' stops me. I just go. And I understand that being comfortable with being uncomfortable entails you're not going to get the check when you want it. Someone's going to make a commitment and then renege on the commitment. And you just have to keep blinders on going forward. As you say, falling forward. I don't take no for an answer. Failure is not in my vocabulary. I just do it. And to me, talking to someone or sharing that with them is not going to alleviate the issue. The issue started and needs to end with me. And as an entrepreneur, you understand and you accept the responsibility that it's you. And I just live that way. And then, of course, when they get to those dark moments, and I've had those dark moments, I just take it upstairs to a higher source. And that kind of balances it out in that the process needs to be patient. You need to understand being comfortable with being uncomfortable. It may not happen when you want it, but if you really pursue it with a purpose and passion, eventually it'll happen. It sounds kind of corny and it's simple, but it works. And I think as an entrepreneur, you have to have the utmost belief in yourself. And if you don't, you're doing the wrong thing.
Like you're saying with God, God gives you trust, faith, eliminates fear, trust Him that you talk to Him.
Yeah, but trust and faith in Him means nothing if you don't bust your ass and go get it too. So it's a trade-off where you have to work hard, you have to keep going. You know, I'll give you a perfect example. There's a sports organization that does the Fiesta Bowl. And there are 19,000 nonprofits in the state of Arizona. 23,000 now,
Sure, it's
okay?
like 23,000.
Last year, the Fiesta Bowl funded 67 organizations. 23,000 to 67. We got funded last year. This year, we didn't get funded. Someone said, well, how do you feel? I go, simple. We got it last year. Someone didn't. Someone gets it this year. We don't. So if I base it on why I didn't get it or who didn't work for me, I'm missing the point. And there's enough for everyone, and not every day are you going to get the W. So you just have to keep pursuing it and not give up, basically. Did I answer your question?
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out the connection with God. When you said God was your best buddy over there. How do you translate that fear, that hope when failure comes to you?
Well, I think it's more.
Keep going, keep pushing forward.
I think it's your own innate spirit, and you have to have a internal belief subconsciously that you're going to get it done. And from there, you keep fighting to ensure that you get it done. The average nonprofit lasts, 2.5 years? I've been doing this for 27 years. Malcolm Gladwell says if you do anything for 10,000 hours, you're an expert. That's the equivalent of 5.5 years. 5.5 years, 27 years. I have a game plan. I know what I'm doing, and I know why I'm doing it. And as long as I keep those things close to me, eventually it always works out. I think you have to be truly authentic with yourself, and that's a big part of it too.
So mine isn't one person, but it's definitely like an average Joe, a common person. It's not God, sorry. But for me, like it's been Jodi at times. It's been other people that I look up to, and it's someone that I can be authentic with, that I can show up and I can ugly cry and be like, today sucks, right? It's that person that I can share that I'm struggling with my own anxiety and depression. It's that person that I can share. I hit $250,000 in my company, and they're not jealous. So, and I will say also for me, I've seen my core friends change about every 3 years. And so that means that core person that's my go-to, they change, right? Whether I change, they change, our paths change. But that's what I've noticed for me is really my go-to people change about every 3 years. So that's interesting, but I always find someone that is real and authentic, and when they ask you, how are you doing, they really want to know how you're doing. Not just the, I'm good, I'm fine. It's like, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you.
What's the thing that you identify to those people that they change over time, that they actually trust to open up to you? Do they feel comfortable with themselves where they are?
Yeah, they're authentic people.
You and they feel they're okay to listen to you. What is it that makes you open up?
Their level of authenticity and transparency. So I'm the real deal. Like I don't want to do the casual foreplay conversation, and I just mean common, right? Like I want to get to know you, and I want to know like everything about you. I want to know what you ate as a kid, not like where you went to a black tie dinner, you know? So for me, my core friends are the authentic, transparent ones that, you know, I can call and be like, today sucked. Or, you know, again, like I struggle with anxiety and depression, and lately it's been more anxiety. And so it's like, okay, how do I navigate this and be an entrepreneur and a mom and a support to my other friends? So for me, I look for that authentic, 100% transparent thread.
So let's really remove the assholes from our lives.
Yeah, totally. And the energy vampires.
I know. You are done. It's been 3 years. We're done. All right, Jodi, do you want to answer that question?
I'll answer it really quick. If my husband was here, he would say he's that person. I'm in business completely by myself. I don't have any employees. I don't really have any counterparts because what I'm doing is really very unique. So, but to Jaret's point, I definitely rely on others that I can trust, you know, that I can reach out to. Some of you are actually in this room that are guiding me along. So, and I loved what you had said earlier as far as this too shall pass. That is actually a saying that I used to hate because my old boss used to say it all the time. And honestly, those words I live by, because when I'm having my moments of anxiety and like I'm not good enough, all that negative talk, or just, you know, just the nervousness of like, what am I doing? And like, am I really worthy of all of this? I remind myself of that feeling will pass and things will be brighter at the end. So, but it definitely sucks along the way. So I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to answer that question real quick because I would pick Mario. I've only known Mario for a short time, but I feel like he is like my positive cheerleader. Every time I talk to him, he's like, you can do this. And he's got beef Wellington. So I'm stuck in the trenches. I know I'm going to eat well. All right. Well, thank you so much. Ronnie, real quick.
Yes, I want to know your biggest fear.
All right. Biggest fear. All right.
Well, my biggest fear is growing too fast because I've seen that happen in other businesses where, businesses have just blew up and they didn't blow up in the right direction. So, and I failed to say when I was talking about the staffing company, that was a franchised company that I bought into. I spent thousands of dollars. When you think about a franchise, it's not cheap. And that company was not solid. The franchisor out of Denver was not a solid company. And unfortunately, it ended up folding. The entire company ended up folding down the road. So that was a really good example of growing too fast. They just went crazy and they honestly did not have a model in place. So I worry about the same things. And that's when, going back to the question really quick, is that I like to be around people who ask me, what am I scared of? Because when you have to answer that takes work to figure out, like, really, what am I scared of? And half of the time it's really nothing, but it feels like it's really big. So that's my worry.
So I'm one of those people, I don't think too much, I just do it, right? So I don't have time to be afraid. But my biggest fear right now is over financial management. Yeah, right. Getting back on this card. Financial management. So I want to retire at 50, and I turned 40 this year, so that's really aggressive. But my retirement plan is a school bus conversion. So I'm looking at the FIRE plan, which is freedom, independence, and retire early. So my biggest fear is that I didn't put away enough money early on and that I didn't seek financial advisement earlier than what I need to do. But when you're living in a school bus off a grid, you don't need that much money.
My biggest fear is just fulfilling my legacy. I want to truly make a huge difference in this world. And my biggest fear is not being able to fulfill that. I have ideas, I have directions that I want to go, and I fear the fact that I won't be able to complete that mission because I've been blessed so far, and I think there's more for me to do. And 27 years is not a joke to do what I've done, but there's so much more, and I want to fulfill my legacy. So that's my biggest fear.
Okay, well, let's give a round of applause. Oh, Marcus. To our panelists. I know we're kind of short on time. Real quick, too, we are still doing the 50-50 raffle to benefit Career Concepts for Youth. If you want to see Marcus, raise your hand, Marcus. And we'll go ahead and cash that out a little bit. I'd like to do, and he has books. So Mario has a couple of books that he's written that he's also raffling off. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Real quick announcement, too. So I have teamed up with a couple people in this room. Kyle Timmons over here with Office Evolution and Jonathan Ingram with Ingram Studios. And a lot of you may be wanting to do more video in your business. How many of you are like, I should do a video, but I'm scared to death to do a video? If you need a video, we're doing this Up-Level Your Brand Video Day, September 21st at Office Evolution. And you can see us for details, but we'll be going ahead and scheduling that out. And then again, next month, it's September 19th, back here at Three Wisemen. Vincent's on the panel. Brandon and I are kind of reversing. So he's going to be getting out of his comfort zone and actually facilitating this one while I sit on the panel with Vincent and Salua with the Self-Made Success Women's panel. So September 19th, if you're interested in that, you can check that out. But thank you so much for coming. I know Morgan wanted to do some shots, so please join her at the bar.
Only if they're Jaeger shots.
I know. Jonathan's like, we need a picture. I'd like to take a group shot if we're able to around the tree. And thank you so much for coming out tonight to the Social Connect Business Happy Hour. All right. And thank you.